Yo, what's going on guys, it is FoxyDude98 here and welcome back to a brand new video for you guys today here on the channel. Today we're doing a little bit of a special one actually. We're doing a Q&A special, but instead of just doing a bog standard Q&A that you always see, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. So for today's video, it's probably going to be unedited, so it's just going to be a long 25% race, fully done, fully unedited. However, what I'm going to be doing is answering your questions. Basically, I went onto my community posts on YouTube and I said, you know, what do you want to see for a 12k type of special video? I kind of want to do something because we've just passed 12,000 subscribers here on YouTube. One of the suggestions that came up was to do a form of a challenge, do a Q&A, but whilst you're doing the Q&A, do a challenge. And I like that idea the most out of the ones that I saw, so I'm doing the one that I like the most. So we're driving as Sebastian Vettel, and the challenge that I've selected here at the Bahrain Grand Prix is simply corner cutting. I just want to cut corners, and people get triggered by corner cutting, and I just basically want to cut corners. That's kind of what it is. So we're corner cutting at Bahrain whilst doing this set of challenges. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you have, feel free to drop it a like. If you are new around here as well, feel free to subscribe to the channel. If you are new around here, if you enjoy the content you do see, let's keep on growing this channel and we'll see how we can get on. But anyway then, right, let's start the race. Let's get on with the questions. The first question comes in from Junior Bangura, I think that is pronounced. Again, I'm really bad at pronouncing names, so yeah, sorry about that. Fire red lights. And it is lights out, there we go. Here's actually a horrible start for myself, and I've smacked Raikkonen and then I've lost a bit of my front wing, so that's brilliant. So I'm just going to flash back on that one because I can do what I want. If you could remove any F1 team, who would it be? From Formula 1? Well, that's a bit of a tough question because, you know, if you pick any team in Formula 1... Okay, alright, all just smash me out at the same time. If you could pick any team to remove, I'd probably, honestly, remove Williams. It's actually strange that I'd pick that one. Everyone knows that my least favourite team in Formula 1 is Haas. I'll explain... Oh my god, stop crashing into me! I just want to do the... Oh my god. Jesus, it's actually hard to do a Q&A and do this without being smashed off every 2 seconds. Bloody hell. God. Alright, there we go. So yeah, honestly, for me, I'd remove Williams. I just don't rate Williams anymore. And speaking of corner... Oh my god, you... Right, I'm just going to have to restart the whole race. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'd probably remove Williams. I don't know why. I don't think they don't have a future for me in Formula 1. That's why I'd remove them personally. Next one comes in from Hayes Beans. And he says, if you were offered a driver either Alfa Romeo, Sauber or Williams, which team would you go for and why? And which driver would you replace and why? Good question. I'd drive for Williams. Not Williams, sorry. I'd drive for Alfa Romeo Sauber if I was given the choice. And in terms of the driver that I'd replace Marcus Ericsson. I know, obviously, yes, Ericsson scored points here in Bahrain. Leclerc is yet to do that. I just don't have any rating for Marcus Ericsson in Formula 1. That's just my personal opinion. Obviously, people are going to have completely different opinions to mine, and that's perfectly fine. But I don't really want to go anywhere near Williams. I think Williams are finished in Formula 1, like I've said. Yeah, I just don't see any future for them. Oh, this is a bit I can corner cut. Oh, it's got gravel. Oh, that's horrible. I didn't want to do that then. Alright, so yeah, that's probably what I would do in that scenario. I'd drive for Alfa Romeo Sauber, and I would also then drive alongside Charles Leclerc, because I have full respect and rating for Charles Leclerc. Next comes in from Adrian, and he says, do you watch Formula E? I don't. I have no interest in Formula E whatsoever. And it's quite an interesting one, because... Obviously, a lot of the companies nowadays, they're starting to transfer themselves over towards Formula E, like the main manufacturers, transform themselves towards Formula E so they can say, hey, look, we've gone green, we've gone electronic, and all this jazz and stuff like that. I love how I'm corner cutting at Bahrain and I'm still under pressure from Lewis Hamilton behind, who's actually in the slipstream, although I'm not really concentrating, to be honest. I'm just... Sorry, mate, I've got places to be. There we go, slide it around there. There we go. I'll gain some time back. Oh, no, he's just going to close up on me. But no, the funny thing is a lot of people, you know, are making all these stats up, you know, Formula E, this, you know, economic place where, oh, my Jesus Christ, do you know what, driftmeup.com / I'm out of the race. But yeah, a lot of people say, you know, do you watch, in terms of Formula E, like you say, you know, it's the future of motorsport. It honestly isn't. If you actually did proper research into electronic racing, e.g. Formula E, then you'll find out that Formula E has a carbon footprint that lasts a lifetime. You cannot... It's actually, funnily enough, it's actually extremely bad to do electronic racing. You wouldn't think it is. It's awful, though. Trust me. It has, like I've said, it has a carbon footprint that will last a human lifetime. You cannot save that back. So, yeah, Formula E, big no-no, and I'm just not interested in the sport anyway. Formula 1 is way better and is the pinnacle of motorsport, in my opinion. So, next question comes in from... I've just gone past it, and I've gone past the question, my bad. Next question comes in from Sammy, and he asks, who is your favourite driver in Formula 1? My favourite driver is Lewis Hamilton, and I supported him... I'm trying to think of the reason why... Right, so, I've watched Formula 1 ever since I was a toddler. I don't have any pictures, obviously, but if I did, I would have shown them. But basically, back when I was a little toddler, I'd always stand up in front of the TV screen and be in the way of the TV whilst Formula 1 was on. Obviously, I didn't know what it was. I just heard loud stuff, and I'm just, like, a really loud and annoying person, so it kind of made sense to, you know, just have that. Ever since then, I started... Obviously, I watched Formula 1. I never really supported anyone, and then sort of Lewis Hamilton sort of just jumped into the mainstream of Formula 1 in 2007, and sort of just, like, was doing something to represent Britain, if you know what I mean. And that's when I sort of like got inspiration and wanted to follow his path and to see and to support him basically, and I did so, and that's how I supported Lewis Hamilton. My phone's just gone off, for God's sake. This is so hard to do this properly and try and unedit this as well, because I'm just lazy. There's nothing to do with laziness. I can't get this corner right to save my life. But yeah, it's Lewis Hamilton. Next up comes in from Blazing Glory, and he says, would you drive for Ferrari, Mercedes, or Red Bull? That's actually a really tough question to answer. What I can say is I can cut that down to two teams. I wouldn't drive for Red Bull. No interest in Red Bull. Now, my favourite team is Mercedes-Benz, and they have been ever since they rejoined Formula 1 in 2010, and I've just been a massive fan of the Mercedes-Benz cars in general. Oh, Jesus Christ alive. I've been a massive fan of their cars just in general. Like, there's nothing to do with Formula 1, nothing to do with glory hunting, so you can get all those crappy comments out there. In fact, they've kind of stopped now. They initially started a while ago, but... yeah, no, I've always been a fan of just the Mercedes car manufacturer, and as soon as I heard they were coming to Formula 1, I was so excited and instantly was like, right, I'm supporting Mercedes, don't even care anymore. But the biggest problem that I have with that, and the biggest tie-up, is even though Ferrari, you know, Ferrari is Ferrari. Ferrari is just such a big icon for Formula 1. You sort of wish every driver as a kid always wishes to drive as Ferrari, and that's why they're voted the most popular team in Formula 1. So I really couldn't split the tail. If there was a chance that I could do like what Lewis Hamilton's doing, like drive for Mercedes, and then maybe, you know, come later in the time that you get the contract for Ferrari or whatever, you know, honestly, I couldn't choose, to be honest. I'd love to drive for both of them. Next question comes in from Chris Drew, and he says, Charles Leclerc or Pierre Gasly? That's a very interesting question. It's very hard to compare them, to be honest, in terms of drivers, because they're in different teams. Gasly obviously had an absolutely phenomenal Bahrain Grand Prix, but of course then he's in the Toro Rosso, which is a much better car than what Sauber have. Oh my god, this corner hurts me in general. So it's hard to put into perspective who's the better out of the two. But then if you're talking just natural talent, at the moment Gasly has really lit up Formula 1 faster than Leclerc. But Gasly was there in the second half of the season. Honestly, I have a lot more love and not respect. That's a wrong thing to say. I have a lot more love for Charles Leclerc in Formula 1. But don't get me wrong, Gasly is a phenomenal driver. And I can't wait to see what both can do if they get into some slightly better teams. So the next question comes in from Sebastian, not Vettel. It comes in from, I can't even pronounce it. Oh, rest in peace, Ocon. It was nice knowing you, man. It comes in from, I can't see the question without pausing. Comes in from Milsey, I think I pronounced that right. He says, Vettel or Lewis Hamilton? I prefer Vettel because Hamilton moans less. That's kind of a really weird excuse to support a driver, but anyway, whatever. Hamilton. I nearly actually said Vettel then. Hamilton. I don't like Vettel. I just don't. Like, okay, it's a weird one. Like, I don't like Vettel. I do have respect for him on track. That's, I can say that, for example. Like, he didn't win those 4 World Championships for no reason. And Red Bull, even in that era, they weren't the dominant team. 2010, Red Bull was not dominant. 2012, Red Bull was not dominant. And in 2013, the start of it, Red Bull wasn't dominant until, oh my Christ, back end. But yeah, like literally, Red Bull would. So yeah, in terms of that respect, I have loads of respect for him on track. But I wouldn't, honestly, as a pro tip, It's not a pro tip at all, but honestly, never support a driver just because they moan less. That's really not the excuse to support someone. But if you do, I'm not going to argue against you. I just think it's the wrong reasons to support a driver. Like, if you genuinely had a natural hero, then support them. Hence why, for me personally, Hamilton is my hero. People can laugh at that and say, yeah, he's a fag, but, you know, that's my opinion. You can't change what I believe. Oh, there's Ocon. Rest in peace, buddy. But yeah, no, I'd say Hamilton. Next up comes in from, I can't even pronounce that name properly, Sandak. I'm going to go with the final name there because it's slightly easier to pronounce than the first name. And he says, why aren't you playing with the steering wheel? Because I don't like racing with the steering wheel. Funnily enough, what's the thing that I hate most about the steering wheel? The steering. I hate it. I don't like it. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable, and I much prefer racing on a controller than I do racing on a steering wheel. That's why I don't race with it. I race with the steering wheel. Well, I don't race with the steering wheel. I use the steering wheel on games such as like Forza and stuff. And in terms of questions about Forza, I don't like the Forza Motorsport series. As soon as Forza Horizon 4 is announced, which I beg it is, then I will be absolutely playing the living daylights out of it. And if it's anything like Forza Horizon 3 was, then I'm in for a lot of fun, and we'll be splitting the content between Formula 1 and Forza because I'll just be playing that so much as well in the process. Next up comes in from S. Patel, and he says, who is your favourite F1 YouTuber other than yourself? Damn it, I was going to pick myself. Honestly, I'd say it's weird because I don't watch many F1 YouTubers, and that's the thing that I kind of would address but don't need to at the same time. When people say, like, you know, oh, you copy this YouTuber, you copy this and that, I don't watch these YouTubers, so I don't know who they are, but if I had to say who is my favourite, I'd go T-McMurdoch. Like, I just have more respect for T-McMurdoch than any other F1 YouTuber. I enjoy his content, and I like that he has a very strong balance between doing league racing, which is really hardcore and sweaty, which I'm just have no interest in, and then also just doing, you know, career mode content and funny videos like surviving against noobs in online lobbies and stuff. For me, he just has such a good balance, and I really enjoy his content, so, yeah, I'm going to go with T-McMurdoch on that one. Next up comes in from Pure Stupidity, who's actually the person that suggested I did this type of Q&A special in the first place, so it was you. I'm thinking who it was. Doesn't want to stay with me. Yes. Oh god, I didn't realise that my idea would get through, lol. If you're wondering why there's a black line by Pure Stupidity's comment, it's because there's a swear word there, and I don't really want to put it in. Best, funniest, worst moment in F1. Jesus. Worst moment in F1, when you're winning a game when you're winning a race comfortably and you disconnect and it's just a pain in the backside. For me, in my opinion, that's just the worst. What's your worst, stupidest thing you've done in an F1 game? Probably just doing stuff like I've done in here now, like just crashing loads and just being an idiot. Probably. Would you rather lose your front wing or have an awful puncture? Lose my front wing. Worst F1 glitch you've ever experienced? Being warped through the pit wall and stuck in the wall. That was the funniest glitch I think I've ever had in this game, to be honest. Yo, Raikkonen, allow it. I'll corner cut to get past you because, you know, Ferrari initiate them team orders, boys. So yeah, that's probably those. iFlaming Zombie says, where do you think Danny Rick will end up in 2019? I don't have a clue about that one. I don't know why my accent changed ever so slightly. I don't have a clue where Ricciardo's going to end up in 2019. I don't know if he's going to stay at Red Bull for a couple more seasons. I don't know if he's going to try and get over to Mercedes-Benz. Of course, we know that Bottas and Kimi Raikkonen's contracts expire at the end of this season. So there is potential for a Mercedes and a Ferrari seat. Or he could stay at Red Bull. Honestly, it's completely down to him. It's down to the negotiations. I can't really call where he's going to go. Honestly, for me, if you were going to say to me right now, would Ricciardo go to Mercedes or would he go to Ferrari? If I had to pick one of those two, I'd pick he would go to Mercedes-Benz. Only because Ferrari have just traditionally been a number 1, number 2 driver type team. And Ricciardo can easily beat Vettel, and we've already seen that in Red Bull when Ricciardo and Vettel faced each other in the one season that they had together. Ricciardo beat Vettel, so, you know, I don't think Vettel would want him anywhere near Ferrari, so it'd be Mercedes personally. Next up comes in from Carol Alberts, probably pronounced the first name wrong, but probably got the second name spot on because I'm, you know, the best name pronouncing ever. And he says, Supreme Leaders Q&A. I love that. I love that you put Supreme Leader in there. Who is your favourite YouTube or group of YouTubers in a group? Rate them to worst to best. For me, my favourite YouTuber at the moment is I Am Wildcat. You may hear of him, you may not have. He obviously is great friends with Vanoss Gaming, and I've just really been absolutely loving the content that he produces, and I watch his content whenever he uploads it, and it's just so much fun to watch. It's just entertaining, funny, and just enjoyable. That's what I want from YouTube videos, and I watch his the most, and I really enjoy his content. So yeah, I'd say I Am Wildcat is my favourite YouTuber at the moment, until things potentially change. Apart from that, though, I'd probably say myself. No, I don't even watch my videos. Next comes in from Zoe, and asks, she, probably, some people have names, and they are doing this on different accounts, so I don't really know. To be honest, I'm just going to go with she, because it's Zoe, because it sounds like a girl's name. What is your favourite track? That is Spa-Francorchamps, can't be anything else, because Spa-Francorchamps is just iconic, legendary, and phenomenal. Next up comes, oh my god, did you really have to come up with a confusing name for me to try and think of? It's not your fault. Next question comes in from confusing name number 1, and he says, do you think Leclerc will get a seat for Ferrari when Raikkonen leaves? Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think he will. If there's going to be any form of step for Charles, it will probably be Haas, because they're the next best. They're pretty much the sister team of Ferrari. I still believe that they've completely copied Ferrari from last year, but you know, that's my opinion. I don't think he'll go and make a straight jump to Ferrari. I think that's too much for me, in my opinion. So no, I don't believe he will, but I do have high expectations for Charles Leclerc to be successful in the future. S. Patel with another question, actually. It doesn't matter, to be honest, I'm just reading these in order, so if you put multiple questions, then hey, you can have multiple questions answered. It's simple as that. Asks, what is your favourite crash in F1? Real life. Probably Belgium 2000, I think it was. I think I could be wrong. You guys will know about it. It's always in GIFs. It was the Belgian Grand Prix in the wet. Last source exit, literally the entire field just crashed. I think it was the year 2000. However, I could be wrong on that statement, so don't question me on that one. You'll know what I'm on about, and someone will obviously correct me anyway, because everyone always tries to correct me and prove their points in this race. Anyway, next up comes in from Fran XPC and asks, do you think it was fair for Kvyat to be swapped 4 days after Red Bull? And someone has now just text messaged me, so I can't even see. Out the way, text message. Yeah, do you think it's fair for Kvyat being swapped 4 days after Red Bull by crashing twice into Vettel? No, I believe that was completely pathetic. Oh, I forgot to cut the corner. How can I forget to cut corners? No, I think that was completely unfair. I think Red Bull genuinely ruined Danny Kvyat's career. Because if you put it this way, I'm recording this. This will be going up on the weekend after the Chinese Grand Prix. If you're going to say that, then why hasn't Verstappen been demoted from Red Bull? Like, I'm sorry, but, you know, if you think about Kvyat, yeah, he had a reputation of crashing into people. That's fair. But he took out Vettel. He smacked Vettel multiple times in a crazy start. Took himself and Vettel out. Gets demoted. Verstappen, Australia, is a complete nuthead. Loses the rear end of the car consistently all the time. Couldn't get past the Haas's. In fairness, Australia's a terrible track to overtake. Bahrain, he spun the car around, smashed into a wall. And, you know, lost out in qualifying, costing crucial time. I can't remember whether Verstappen finished in Bahrain, to be honest. Oh, wait, he made contact with Lewis Hamilton. Rest in peace, Hockenberg. Made contact, drove into the side. Well, I wouldn't say drove into the side of Lewis Hamilton. Unfairly smacked Lewis Hamilton. It's still a racing incident, but most of that, to me, is towards Verstappen on that one. And ruins his entire race there. And then coming into China, you know, he goes wide on the X, tries to fight Lewis Hamilton again. In fairness to Lewis Hamilton, defended his position very nicely. Verstappen was never going to go around the outside on turn 6 on Hamilton, and he goes wide. Then he just dives bombs straight into the side of Vettel, locks up the rear tyres, goes into him, admits it was his fault, gets a penalty for it. So really, you know, why hasn't he been demoted? You know, so that just shows that Red Bull just didn't like Kvyat and just screwed his career for no reason. It's really upsetting to see, in my personal opinion. Oh, get me some fastest laps. Next up comes in from A Burning Nugget and says, why did you start YouTube and why F1 videos? Good question. Why did I start F1 YouTube videos? Why did I start YouTube videos? I started them because basically when I was watching YouTube videos, I just saw how much fun people were having, and it's a shame because people will clickbait. People will do anything for views, anything for subs, just to be desperate and just to be a prick, basically. And I watched YouTube on a different front. I just saw it because people were having fun. That's exactly why I did it, because people were having fun, they were enjoying themselves, they were just having so much laughs, and I just wanted to see if that was the case, and it genuinely is. I have so much fun. making videos, and it's weird because I've got into that pattern now where if I don't upload a video on a specific day, it hurts me that I don't upload. I get really frustrated that I don't upload, so I'm just in that swing of things. So yeah, and why specifically F1 videos? Because they took off the most. It's as simple answer as that. If you go back into my channel, scroll down like to the first set of videos, like I was playing FIFA, I was playing COD, I've done about 100 Black Ops 2 videos on my channel, just doing funny moments in S&D because I was a knob. But yeah, I was doing that, and you know, I was playing other games as well. And then when it came to F1 2016, Formula 1 just took off on my channel, and people just watched it, and people constantly was watching it, and every time I was uploading something different and spending more time on it, people just watched the F1 content, and that's when I knew I've just got to turn into an F1 channel. And okay, granted, you know, Team at Marduk's the highest rated or most subscribed F1 YouTuber, and he's got what, nearly 300k subs. So of course, you know, the F1 community on Formula and YouTube isn't big, so like, you know, it's not massive. It's definitely got way more rooms to improve, and Formula 1 is going to stay on the rise. But for me, again, yeah, I did it because of the subscribers part. But at the end of the day, you know, I enjoy Formula 1 is my life. Like, I will always support Formula 1 until the day I die, and to see that it's still taken off to where it is today, you know, that's simply why. And it took off, people loved it, and I love it. That's the main important thing. If F1 was my most viewed series or videos, and I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't do it. Simple as that. I don't care how many views I have, I wouldn't do it. Simple as that. So yeah, I did it because I enjoy it, and you guys enjoy it. Next up comes in from, I'm probably going to have to go overtime here, so I'm probably just going to use the replay cams to go through this these questions. What is your favourite, this one comes in from 2006, just because your name is really hard to pronounce, I'm going to go with what's easier to say. What is your favourite year in F1 in terms of action? Oh, bloody hell. F1 2012, has to be. Or, ooh, 2012 or 2010? F1 2010, has to be. I know 2012 was one of the iconic seasons where just so much happened, but 2010 went right down to the wire with still about like 4 or 5 drivers. 5 drivers that could win the World Championship with like a few rounds to go. It was just absolutely phenomenal, and it will always be my favourite season, probably, in terms of action. Just so much. 2012 right up there, like 7 different winners in 7 different races is amazing. Apart from Felipe Massa, lol. Yeah, still, absolutely phenomenal 2 seasons they were. I'd probably put 2010 in front, though. Right, next up comes in from It's Norgy, and he says, I probably pronounced it wrong, but, you know, I pronounce everything wrong in life. It says, how do you believe McLaren have evolved over the last 5 years, and what do you believe is their future? And the last bit is basically, nice try, but the last bit of your question has been blacked out because it's spam. And again, I'll even address it in this little question, actually, but McLaren haven't evolved. They've gone backwards. They're not climbing fast enough. McLaren really are just on a massive downhill part, and unfortunately, they kind of remind me of Arsenal Football Club. Arsenal are literally known for their history, like the Invincibles. If you don't watch football, you won't know why I'm saying this, but you'll know if you research it. Yeah, again, it's a case of, you know, they are the Invincibles. Like, they went through an entire Premier League season fully unbeaten. You know, nowadays you don't really rate them as highly, so you kind of call them just the history, as you would. So, McLaren for me are just history. They've finally got what they wanted. They wanted a new engine. They got the new engine. The Renault power unit is more than capable enough, and they're still way down the order. They still don't have a good chassis, still don't have a good aero. And honestly, like, people say, you know, oh, finally McLaren, you know, they're getting the points on a regular basis. Now, that's fine, but if you think about it, they've got a Renault engine. Okay, so why aren't they fighting Red Bull, Mercedes, and Ferrari? It's simple as that, you know? It's not a case of, oh, don't be so harsh on McLaren. That's the harsh reality of things, you know? McLaren should be fighting Red Bull, Mercedes, and Ferrari. Red Bull have a Renault engine, and they have a better chassis and aero. Simple as that. So, you know, Red Bull are up there because they have done a brilliant job in working with their car. McLaren, I mean, in fairness to McLaren, it's their first season with Renault engines, so give them a little bit of slack. But to be honest, in F1, you can't make up excuses, and it's frustrating, but it's true. And in terms of spam, I'm completely against it. So if you guys try and promote anything of yours on my content, it will be instantly removed. I don't promote it. Sorry, I don't go around... I just don't like it. Like, for me, if you're gonna rise in anything, if that's YouTube channels, different pages of social media, that's just down to your hard work and dedication. I prefer people just not to beg others to try and follow their stuff and try and steal the viewers off of other people's channels, which is why it's been blanked out. I'm not going to disregard your question. I'm just going to blank out the spam part. Daniel Butler says, "How are you?" I'm great, thanks. How are you? Jake Riggs says, "What is the most over and underrated driver racing at the moment?" And once again, you've promoted one of your pages, and I'm going to blank it out because again, I don't accept spam on the channel, and it's just a learning curve. So you guys now know I don't accept spam. But anyway, overrated driver. Who's overrated at the moment? Probably. Oh, this is a tough question. Most underrated driver for me is probably it was Ocon, and I think it still is. The Force India just isn't as good this year, and he showed last year how good he was. Also, Nico Hulkenberg as an underrated man. Overrated though, I can't really think of people that are overrated at the moment. The only thing I can think of is basically it's hard to say it, but I'd say Verstappen, and that's not because he's crashed into everyone all the time, but at this current moment in time, in terms of his form, it's not been good. And to be honest, I'd put Lewis Hamilton into that category as well as an overrated driver at the moment. Like, I can't say who on the grid is just overrated in general, but like, to be honest, at this current moment in time, in terms of form, you put a lot of the top 6 in. Bottas, I think, is overrated. Raikkonen is overrated. He's terrible. Hamilton's form this season hasn't been brilliant, apart from round 1. Verstappen's form's been awful. So, it's really hard for me to put that into perspective. And I'm going to go into replay cams as well, by the way, guys, so I can answer the rest of the questions, because there's still a few to go through. João Cardozo says, "How did you start YouTube, and what are your goals for the year?" Hashtag Supreme Leaders Q&A. Well, how do I start YouTube? I've already answered that question. And in terms of what are your goals for the year, what am I thinking? What are we on? 12,000 subscribers. What are we on now? We're in April. To be honest, I'm probably going to aim for 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It's a massive ask. Probably won't happen. I don't really set myself high expectations. I just go with the flow. Well, that's a nice corner. Oh, do you know what? That is actually a sexy thumbnail right there. Yo, give me that again. Yo, oh my god, that's beautiful. That's a replay cam, not even a photo mode. Just gonna leave that there for a second. Give me that thumbnail material. But yeah, I'll probably go with 20,000 subscribers. Formula 1 is back. My channel has been growing quite quickly at the moment, compared to what it has been in the past. Then, of course, F1's going to die out in terms of the game itself. I'm going to try and move on to some other racing games soon in the future. And then, obviously, F1 2018 news will come around. Then the F1 2018 game will come out, and the hype will be there. So, I'm thinking 20,000 subscribers is an appropriate target to go for. Next one comes in from NASCAR Lover 2018 and says, "What tracks would you like to be added to the F1 calendar, if any?" Hashtag Supreme Leader Foxy is awesome. Hashtag Supreme Leaders Q&A. I don't know why I keep doing that. What tracks do I want to be added? Well, at the moment, we know that there's going to be some tracks that pretty much are near confirmed. Not near, well, they're pretty much on the radar going in. Is F1 in Miami, F1 in Copenhagen, and also F1 in Hanoi in Vietnam. They're pretty much near done and dusted to be entered into Formula 1 in the calendar. What do I want to be added? Good question. To be honest, I'm going to be straight out there. I want to see an F1 track in the mountains. Why not? Like, why not? I mean, the only problem with that is, A, how the hell would that work? And B, how the hell would the fans be able to watch it? That's just like a fantasy reality type thing in the mountains. Honestly, I can't think of anywhere that I desperately would want to see a Formula 1 race. I'm happy with all tracks at the moment, apart from a few. I don't know, that's a really tough question. Let me know in the comment section down below where you'd like to see an F1 race, because to be honest, I don't even know where I want to see one. Blitz J comes in and says, "Is it me, or you sounded like the F1 word, or is it because it's actually you?" Right, so basically, the F1 word is Formula 1. And is it because it's me? Yes. In other words, I have no idea what that question meant. I'm just going to say it out loud and improvise. Rihanna Hannah, probably said that wrong, but whatever. I said, names are terrible. "Who's going to win the championship?" Can't even tell you that. Can't even, don't even ask about that question. At the moment, Ferrari are the fastest team on the grid. Vettel's in a strong contention. Red Bull got a decent car behind them. Not quite as fast as Ferrari and Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton and Bottas, they've got a chance of winning the World Championship. At the moment, Ferrari, I think the best way of putting this is Ferrari and Mercedes are the top 2 teams. Red Bull is about a 10th or 2 off. Race pace-wise. Quali pace, they're not near. Ferrari have got the best package. Mercedes-Benz potentially may have the best package. However, the biggest problem with Mercedes-Benz, they don't understand their car. That's why they're failing. Mercedes-Benz probably could be better than Ferrari. Well, I don't know, like I'm just guessing here. But Mercedes have clearly stated they do not know what their car is yet. They haven't understood the W09. And that's a reason why they're failing. And if they fully understood the W09, maybe they'd be able to be better, and that may be haltering their development because they don't understand the Mercedes as much. They don't understand where to improve yet, so maybe that's why. So who knows, to be honest. I can't answer that. Cali Bamba says, what got you into driving backwards? I just literally decided one day to do a video. I saw that you could turn rules and flags off, so I just decided to drive backwards and survive going around Baku. Just literally one of those days where I just woke up and thought, what challenge do I do today? And I thought, you know, I'm just going to drive backwards. Loads of people loved it. Loads of people have really enjoyed it. So then I just decided to, and it just turned into a series. It just happens. I just woke up, just thought, turn rules and flags off. Can you drive backwards? I wonder what it'd be like to do it in a race. Do you ghost or do you crash? And you crash horribly, and it was funny. That's pretty much why. Wow, this is a couple of questions here. Mayor Katniss of Cats. That's a great name. Let's see. What's your favourite driver duo and team of all time? Ooh, driver duo of all time. Bloody hell, that's a good one. Ayrton Senna has to be. There's no question about that. If I don't put Ayrton Senna on my list, I might as well just stop watching Formula 1 forever. Would I put Hamilton into that category? Ayrton and Lewis? Yeah, screw it. I would. Ayrton Senna and Lewis Hamilton. I don't care. Favourite circuit of all time, I've already answered that one, Belgium. YouTube Idol, I've already answered that. Well, Idol, favourite YouTuber, I Am Wildcat, kind of the same thing really at the time. Favourite crash of this decade, 2010 to present. Mark Webber flipping his car in Valencia, 2010. I actually put a tweet out saying Verstappen trying to make an overtake in F1 and him flipping his car. It's quite funny, actually. Next question comes in from Bartos and says, do you think Kubica will be back in Formula 1 team in 2018 or 19? Personally, I do not think so, no. How many questions have I got to go through? I've got loads, bloody hell. Do you think that all drivers, this comes in from Semaj YT, do you think that the drivers should be able to get the halo on their car personal design? Supreme Leaders Q&A. I think the halo should just stay as they are. I hate them anyway. I don't think they need a personal design. Just makes the car look more ugly. Hydra says, in brackets, I don't know if this should be a personal Q&A or more about F1. It can be anything, to be honest. Why do you like F1? Why do you like F1 so much? Just really, I don't really know. Just watched it as a toddler, always into it. It's just one of those things where you just get into it for many other reasons. Will you try the games in the future? Yes, racing games wise, soon, but I just don't have any at the moment that I'm interested in. In terms of other games, I have a second channel, Foxy Plays. It's always in the description. At the moment, I'm just playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 on there. Main reason, because I just enjoy the game way too much. So yeah, probably more than F1 actually. What would you like to have in F1 2018? I'll probably save that for another video because it would take too long to go through everything. So maybe for another time on that one. EVE states, can you play Dirt Rally? Hashtag Supreme Leaders Q&A. Unfortunately, probably not. I have no interest in rallying. I don't like it. It's not fun. Probably not. Maybe, to be honest. I don't think I will be. Black Devil says, with track, do you like the most in F1 2018? I think that means which track. I've kind of answered that. It's Belgium. Lewis says, why did you think of basing your channel around games? Why didn't you make a gaming cross with blogs channel? Because I don't like vlogs. I just want to. I don't like play. I don't have an interesting life. I don't have an interesting life, and I don't want to share my life. It's weird. I don't feel comfortable going around filming my life and just putting it on the internet. I guess it'd be good for like memory bank, but I don't know. I just don't really want to share my life. I just enjoy gaming, and this is the industry that I'm pushing myself to go through. So, yeah. Right. Sorry, Gangster Paul, but your question has already been answered in terms of favourite driver. Catastrophic has basically now... Catastrophic Gamer Plays has just asked a bunch of questions. First one, how did you meet your friends and how did you guys agree to start playing F1 together? Well, I don't really have that many friends, to be honest. It's actually true. It's not like trying to be sad and like funny about it. I genuinely don't have that many friends, and personally, I kind of like it that way. I'm a weird guy, don't worry. In terms of Williams Gaming, he watched my videos. He then decided that he wanted to try and make a bit of channel art for me, maybe a new intro. I need to maybe think of getting a new intro on my channel, although I don't know how to make anything like that, so that won't be until I potentially try and learn how to animate and stuff, and that'll take way too long, so the intro will probably stay the same. He started making some content for me because he just wanted to. So we started talking, and then I started getting into some chats with him, like on Discord and on Xbox, so we could start discussing some stuff. And then eventually we just got to know each other, and we just both played F1, we both uploaded F1, and we both are great friends today. Reese is my cousin, so he's family, so that kind of is what it is. Catastrophic Gamer Plays with the next one, because there's just a bunch. Where do you see your channel going in the next 3 years or so? Either it will take off and become a full-time thing, or it will completely drop off. I'll have a full-time job and probably won't be doing YouTube anymore. and well, yeah, pretty much. He says, next one is, if you could spend a weekend with any F1 driver, who would it be and why? Past, present, dead or alive? Ayrton Senna, if I had to pick. If you could be a technician, such as testing the protocols for the cars for any team, what team would it be? A white Mercedes, Michael Schumacher or Ayrton Senna? Ayrton Senna. If you try and compare Schumacher and Ayrton Senna, you're pathetic. It's Ayrton Senna, hands down, all day, every day. You can't even put Michael Schumacher anywhere into the same league as Senna. Catastrophic Gamer Plays. Would you be interested in doing a Formula esports competition? Nope, because I have no interest in trying hard in Formula 1. I have full interest in playing games and having fun and not sweating my balls off. Next question comes in from Joseph F1 and says, what is your driver lineup predictions for 2019? I can't even predict that, to be honest. I can't predict it. Next one comes in from C-Line, can't pronounce the last name. Hamilton or Bottas? You can't even put Bottas into the same league as Lewis Hamilton. It's Lewis Hamilton all day, every day. And the next question is, if you were able to race in an F1 car in real life at any track, which track would you choose? Belgium. Can you play F1 on Roblox? Comes in from Colon, like, I don't know. F1 on Roblox? I mean, sure. I'll go find the server and I'll give it a go. I'll try and get Williams and Reese in. It'll be a laugh, probably, actually. Wow, I'm actually going to go find that. Thank you for that. And the final question comes in from Play, because I can't pronounce your first name, I'm sorry. If you could revive a dead driver, who would you revive? Hashtag Supreme Leader Foxy Q&A. Jesus Christ, that's a deep question. That's quite a... I've never seen a question like that. And honestly, it's a really good question. If I was to revive a Formula 1 driver that has unfortunately passed away due to an accident in Formula 1, I would revive Ayrton Senna. Simple as that. I think Ayrton Senna is the greatest driver ever to live in Formula 1. I have so much love for him. I actually have, you know when you have like a video recording, like I have a video in a DVD player. I actually have videos of pretty much nearly all of Ayrton Senna's races. I always watch them. They're full live races. They're literally like, if you watch Formula 1 now, they're fully live. So I go back and watch all the seasons with Ayrton Senna, and mostly the ones that he wins, just so I can see his pure racecraft and dominance. I'd revive Ayrton Senna, hands down. There'd be no question about it. But that is it for the questions. I'm going to have to try and edit those all into the video now, in terms of them, so they pop up. Oh, controller disconnected. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it for today's video. If you have enjoyed it, feel free to drop it a like, subscribe if you're new around here as well for some more content here on the channel. And I want to thank you guys ever so much for 12,000 subscribers here on YouTube. It's a massive achievement. I never thought I'd achieve it, and it's all thanks to you guys for your love and support day in, day out. And yeah, we will keep on pushing and keep on going. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Take care all. Peace.